So, welcome. This is the official start of the live stream. Thank you very much everybody for tuning in. Would you mind letting me know if I sound alright? Is the background music loud enough? Let me know. How do I sound? If you're watching this in replay or like afterwards when this is actually published on the channel, this is going to be a very exciting build. But also if you're watching this live, it's going to be even more exciting for you because I need your help to choose two of the components in this build, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. So stay tuned for that because we're going to have to choose which RAM we're going to use. There's three choices over here and the links for all these three choices are in the description below. So I'm going to need your help to basically choose these RAMs. The other option over here are these two over here. We have two coolers from Be Quiet. We have the Pure Rock Slim 2, which is a very small cooler, but it's perfect for our CPU. I'm quite excited to know like how well would something so cheap perform in a system like that. That would be exciting. Or we're gonna go with an AIO, this 240mm AIO from AIO. I don't know why I pronounce it like that. This is from Be Quiet as well. This is a pure loop, so this would be quite nice as well. This would be like a little bit of an like overkill of this over there. Okay, everything's perfect. This one for some reason has frozen for me, so I don't know what is going on, but looks like maybe this is all right. Okay. So basically, I'm gonna need your help to decide which one of these we're gonna do. This like video just froze for me. Just let me know if it actually froze for you as well or not, because that would be very, very weird if it actually did froze for you as well. Let me turn that down a little bit. I just want to make sure that everything's okay. Ravi is saying it's okay. Reptile News is saying it's okay as well, so that's okay. By the way, this build is for creators and like creator focused over here, which like that's what we're doing on this channel. We're not going to focus on the gaming aspects of this. This is purely for like video editors, photographers. You know, if you want to do some actual work with the PC, that's what we are going to do in here. Ariane is saying it's okay. Janthaman is saying it's working fine as well. Thanks, guys. So, before we're going to start, I'm very excited to announce that we do have a sponsor for this live stream as well. And like, I'm just going to put the sponsored thing on from, sorry, it goes on like that, boom. It's sponsored by Restream.io, and we're going to listen to the sponsored like little message in a moment. But I'm very happy because this, like, what they're advertising, the sponsor, I'm actually using this feature right now as we're speaking. So like, what we're gonna show you in a moment, I'm actually using this right now, so I'm quite excited that this is gonna work. This works brilliantly. So basically, Restream.io helps you to restream to multiple destinations at the same time. So right now, this is streamed to Facebook, my Facebook Tech Notice page and personal page. So two places in Facebook at the same time. Try to do that even. Then on YouTube and on Twitch. So it depends where you're watching this from. This is like restreamed to loads of different places. But with no further ado, let's have a listen to a little message from our sponsor, Restream.
Would you like to 3x your reach with your live streams while upping the production quality without spending a single dollar? Here's where Restream.io comes in. Restream is a powerful browser-based live stream tool that allows you to restream to multiple social media sites at the same time. But it also pulls all the chats from all the different sites and combines it into one chat, so it's easy for you to keep track of all the messages from different platforms. And not just that, it also offers a very simple to use Restream Studio that lets you design your live stream and customize it to your brand. Restream Studio makes it also very easy to invite in guests for your live stream, even if they're on the other side of the world. And there's much more. The best part of all that is that all that I've just mentioned comes with a free plan. If you're interested in more advanced features like streaming to Facebook pages, stream recordings online, stream pre-recorded videos, 6+ stream participants, full HD streaming and more, then check out all the paid plans and choose which fits your budget. Check out Restream.io in the video description below.
So, this is awesome actual service, and the best part is, like I mentioned on this little clip, is like most of the features that you heard is for free, and you can just do that. So if you literally want to just try it out, the links for these are in this description below, so check that out. By the way, I just want to mention that we have also like all the questions, you know, just if you have any other questions, I'm gonna like pop them up on the screen. As you can see, Night Creator over here is asking M1 versus Ryzen 5800X with RTX 3060 for Adobe, After Effects, Premiere and Resolve. And Night Creators, I'm gonna tell you 100% go with the 5800X. I know that PC, the Ryzen and Nvidia combo, is gonna be a little bit more expensive than the M1, but you're gonna have a lot of upgradability, and the storage is gonna be like cheaper. You're gonna have better graphics performance and CPU performance, so I would definitely go for that if you actually want to do some work for now. If you can afford them both, 100% would go for them. So let's start with the build then. Let's start with the motherboard. I'm just gonna keep an eye on the comments actually over there, but what we want to do is we're gonna go there and boom, like that. Should we go like that? Yeah, on this side. That's a little bit better. So we're gonna take out this motherboard, and it's over here. What else do we need over here? Okay, we're gonna leave that one in there, and then we're gonna leave these in there as well. So let's take the motherboard out. Let's put the box back inside over here. Johnny Summer, aren't you the guy that said that 5800X was too hot? Yes, the 5800X is kind of hot when we're running this on, you know, on an AIO, because just the like architecture, because you're pushing so much power through those 8 cores, so it's running a little bit hot. So if you can avoid that, but if the option is still 5800X or M1, then I think I would have it run hot and have the performance of 5800X rather than the M1, and then we can upgrade to later like 5900X or go lower like 5600X. Maybe start from there, the 6 core, and then you can like upgrade it later basically. So I'm gonna get this motherboard out from the box. Look at this beautiful motherboard. This is one of a kind motherboard, so I'm gonna put this on the side. Let's talk about a few of the features if you're just literally new here and don't know like what is going on. What is this motherboard? Basically, this is like the only motherboard in the world right now that has AMD socket, AM4 socket. Well, actually AMD socket, there is no other AMD sockets. And there is a Thunderbolt 4 ports. There are 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, as you can see over here. Them 2 USB-C ports are Thunderbolt 4, so this is very, very exciting for that. Let's do this. Okay, let's install the CPU first. Down. I should have gotten that mobile over the Gigabyte Vision DP. Dennis is saying that maybe you should have got this this instead of the Gigabyte version of Thunderbolt 3. But actually, Dennis, if you already have the Gigabyte Vision DP, then the Gigabyte one has a few other features that you're gonna see not be on this board. For example, the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, which for me is like absolutely awesome thing, awesome killer features, for example. So I would, you know, that's the bonus for this board if you don't need Thunderbolt 4 compared to Thunderbolt 3, but that's it. Victor is saying, what case am I using for this build? Basically check out the description below. All the links for every single thing that we're talking about is in the description below. Let's see, there we go. All the links for every single part is in the description below. Everything I'm using, if you're watching this in return as well. Okay, where is the corner? Obviously, it is there. Boom. Okay, CPU is in. Voila. If you don't know what CPU we're using over here, I know it looks a little bit white over here. Let me turn it, okay, so it reflects nicely. You can see this one over here is a Ryzen 5600X. So basically, this is quite an entry-level CPU, but it's got plenty of power. And who was it who asked this before as well? Yeah, Johnny Summer, or what's Johnny Summer? No, Night Creator was saying what is the CPU you should be going for. Instead, maybe you should go for 5600X, because that is going to run very, 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 very cool. So we'd get extremely high performance, like single core performance, which means programs are going to run quite fast, well, very snappily fast. You got quite an okay rendering performance, 6 cores, 12 threads. So that is awesome. We have the 5000 series processor, which means we have the new architecture. This motherboard also comes with the BIOS ready for the 5000 series, which not a lot of boards are ready for the 5000 series processors, so you might need a BIOS update. Not on this board, but it's an exciting processor, like a low end over there, quite a lot of upgrade options. But if you want to know how well does this perform for the creators, then check it out. Stay tuned, subscribe for the next few videos, because we're going to be doing all the benchmarks and actually testing this PC out. How much is this motherboard? You can check out the links in the description below for the latest pricing. So now guys, if you are watching this live, I need your help right now. I know there's been a poll going on over there as well, but I want to talk about 3 different versions of RAM that we can use for this build. So version number one, what we could use for this is this over here. So this is a data RAM. This is XPG Gamix D10 RAM. So basically this is 8 gigabytes of each stick and 3200 megahertz CL16, and this is the RAM over here. Now this RAM actually came from the pre-built PC that we got, the RTX 3070, for the PC that's behind me over there. So that's why we have an option of this RAM. So we could reuse this RAM and it would fit in quite nicely, as you can see, like these little silver trims over here, and the black, it would suit this motherboard style quite well. So that's one option, okay? Then the other option over here is quite a fancy RAM from Team Group. If you can see this in the description as well, if you're interested in checking this out. But this one over here is another 8+8 sticks, 3200 megahertz RAM. So 16 gigabytes, very minimal. But as you can see, let's open this up. How does it open again? Oh yeah, there we go. So you can see that those are RGB sticks. And we have a beefy cooler over here, so we'd get some RGB. Even though our case doesn't have a window, unfortunately, we're gonna get there in a moment. And this one is RGB, okay? I haven't actually used these ones on a build, so I actually haven't seen these one in use, so I'm quite interested in seeing how does this RGB work. But there's quite a few people online being used this, so that's option number 2. Okay, and then the third one over here is this RAM over here. This one over here is the Team Group T-Force Dark Z Alpha. Let me see if you can try to not get the reflections of the light. So this one is black as well, but in here now we have actually 4 sticks, not 2 sticks. We have 8 gigabytes of each, which means that we're going to have altogether 32 gigabytes, double the version. I know a lot of people want me to use this one, but I don't know if this is going to work. It should work. It is CL16, 3600 megahertz, so the latency is a little bit lower, but the speed is a little bit faster. So let me know, guys, right now, if you're watching this live, let me know which RAM stick should I go for. Do you want to see the black ones that's a little bit faster and more RAM? Do you want to see these dead budget sticks, or do you want to see these fancy sticks of RAM? let's have a look. People are saying the team group version. This is better RAM team group, Dark for Z Alpha. Okay, 32GB is saying Jantham. Kevin is saying, did I do a PC build with that motherboard recently? No, I didn't. This is the first time I am actually doing a PC build with this motherboard. I have mentioned this motherboard on some of the builds before, but that's that. So looks like if I'm actually like pulling up the poll as well, let me just look at the poll, like what was recently, what is the very recent poll results of this? Let me see. So I can see that so the RAM, whoa, looks like the 32GB of Z Alpha is going to be the one. So we're going to have to leave these extreme sticks for another build, another time. Looks like it. Dark Z Alpha is 74% of people want to see this one. So let's use it. I've used this RAM before. It's very good. So let's go for that. Sean wants budget RAM. I know I would like the budget RAM as well, but let's use this one. What people want, we're gonna give people what they want. Okay, so let's install the RAM then. We have 4 sticks, so let's open all of them up. Oh yeah, they only open on one side on this motherboard. And then let's start slotting it in. Let's see how good is the click. Are you ready, guys? Put my mic very close so you can hear it. Okay. Okay. It was all right. So, stick number 2. Ooh, that was nice. That was a nice click. Let's have a look at this one. Stick number 3. Oh, yeah.
Would you like...
Sorry, wrong thing. Let me put that back on. Did you consider this case the Be Quiet Silent Base 802? What do I have over here? Is this 802? No, this is 601. Yeah, I did consider the 802, but I think the 802 is a little bit bigger and I wanted something a little bit more compact. So that's that. If anyone's seen, look over there, that's gonna be our graphics card. That's up here. That's quite exciting. So, 4th stick of RAM, last click. Oh yeah. Okay, so next of all, we're gonna have to put in our SSDs. So we have 2 SSDs, and thanks Kingston and Be Quiet and even T Group for sending out some of these things. ASUS as well actually for making this PC build possible. But I wanted something that's like budget, like we're not gonna go overkill with this one. This would be just like a mid-range kind of budget build, and you have like some upgrade options. So our OS drive is going to be this one over here. This is the NV1 by Kingston, 500 gigabytes, and this is NVMe drive. So we should be seeing, I think, over 2000 megabytes per second read and write speeds. And it's just like a budget version of the hard drive, or SSD, sorry. OS drive is going to be this. There's going to be 500 gigabytes, which you think maybe a little bit small. You can get 1 terabyte as well if you wanted to. By the way, check this out in the description below if you wanted to do that. But 500 gigabytes I think is plenty to put the programs on and to have the OS running on this one as well. People are saying, what is the pricing of the motherboard? Feel free to check out the latest pricing in the description below. All the parts will be linked over there, so if you want to know the latest pricing in your area or in your part of the world, check it out in the description below. Those links will actually lead you to your local store shop, so you should be able to see it from there. So this is our, okay, let me put these RAM sticks on the side a little bit, get this cleared up. Okay. Okay. So this is our OS drive, but we're gonna need to undo this one. This is where our iFixit kit comes in. Yes, this motherboard is quite a doozy in terms of the price. It's $300 or 300 USD. Pinoy is saying. So it's not like cheap, but they can price it like that at this point because there is no other motherboard out there with those features. Okay, so we have a thermal pad underneath over here, and we have this quick release system, which is actually the first time I'm using this like on a build, really. I've seen it on a motherboard before, but this is the first time we're actually seeing this in a build. Now, I like that you don't need to use the M.2 screw to like put it in, but at the same time, come on, we have 2 screws in order to get the heatsink off and use this, so it's kind of like, you know, beats the actual purpose of this. So that's that. So we have the M.2. Let's just slot it in over there. Okay, this is gonna go on the top slot. So our OS is gonna go there. And in order to just literally plug it in or like put it down, you do that, and then you push that, boom, SSD is installed. Super easy. Actually, it's very, very nice and easy. And look how easy it is to get it off as well. Boom, off, and let's put it back. Voila. The other thing is that usually these stickers can be removed in order to, you know, get a bit of a better cooling of your SSD and get rid of that plastic kind of insulation between the thermal pad and those chips over there. But on this one, it says warranty void if removed. So let's leave it on. Let's take this thermal pad off over here. Boom. The other thing is that because of this little quick, like, what is it? Release, quick closure, quick screw system over there. We don't have, sorry, I mean, you have this thermal pad that's a little bit like dented in. Can you see that over here? Because of this over there, but that shouldn't really matter too much. The cool thing is if you have the longer SSD as well, then you have the quick release in the back over here as well, as you can see. So you can do that as well, but we have only just the most common size. I think it's 280 size. That, okay, let's line up the screws and put this heatsink back. Okay, that goes over there, and that goes over there. Okay, let's screw it back in. With the Ethernet card, is there no Wi-Fi antenna? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but no, there is no Wi-Fi antenna on this board. No Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth. And second SSD is going to be our project drive. So let's have a look. What is this drive? Now this one over here, which is interesting, is 480 gigabytes, and you're looking, okay, why does it say 10 times faster rather than the other one over here that says 35x faster? I mean, these are obviously like funny marketing numbers, but this one actually isn't NVMe drive. This is a SATA SSD. So basically, if I wanted to connect it through those SATA ports over here and get like an SSD that's SATA, then this is exactly like that, but basically it connects through the M.2 slot. But how you can tell the difference between SATA and NVMe drive or M.2 drive is that SATA drive basically has 2 gaps between the teeth, whereas NVMe would have only 1. And this is 480 gigabytes. And I think for a project drive, like a budget SSD like that, is very, very good option, because we're still gonna get over 500 megabytes per second read and write speeds. And it's plenty for most people, okay? I know that this is not like super fast NVMe speeds, but if you're not doing like very high-end video codecs editing, for example, like something that has very high bit rate, in the video codec, then you can actually use this one and it's completely fine. Like most of my videos on my personal rig, I'm actually editing on a 1 terabyte SATA SSD drive, so that's no problem there. And the easier installation of M.2, which is also nice as well, because you don't have to run some cables and get it mounted on your case. We actually can just literally, pull this out and then slot it in there. Let me take this heat spreader or the thermal guard over here off as well, so we can do that. Alrighty, same system, quick release system, and that over there. But now we have this. There's 2 gaps in there, but it literally works exactly the same. I'm gonna put that in, boom, push it down there. You can see that, yeah. And then, come on. Oh, there we go. Goes down and then push that over. Voila! It is installed. I'm gonna peel the thermal pad guard back as well. This is by Kingston as well. If you're interested in checking out this drive, I'm gonna leave that in the description as well. Actually, I have left it in the description below as well, so you can check that out. So these are both like quite like affordable budget options, especially like if you're a photographer. I think this should be quite like good project drive for yourself. I don't have an archive drive, but OS drive and a project drive, that's what we have over here. Alrighty, so if there's anyone new tuned just in, let me know where you're watching this from, and if you don't mind, hit that like button if you're enjoying this video so far. It actually helps, you know, with the growth of the channel, so feel free to hit that like button. That will be massively appreciated. So the CPU one we have over there, I'll put these down. I have to put these in the bin later, so I'll throw these down there. So now is the time. India, hello. What new M.2 mounting system isn't that much quicker than putting a screw in? Well, it kind of is. I think it is faster in terms of putting the screw in, because you don't have to take the screw out from the motherboard box, pull it out of the packet. That always gets just all the plastic around the screw, so you're getting the plastic out, then you're putting it on your screwdriver, and then trying to fit it in, and then, oh man, it just came off, and then it is a little bit faster, but you know, it's not too much faster. Can you change the camera orientation, please? Yeah, no problem. Hello, welcome. Shamshad. There we go. So now the cooler. Guys, which cooler should we use? Okay. I do live in the northern UK. I have picked up a bit of a northern accent in Middlesbrough. Yeah. You're all right, mate. We have 2 cooler options. An air cooler or an AIO. So which one do you think we should go for? Let's think, guys. Oh, hello, Joseph is watching from the Philippines. Hello. The cool thing is, like, when I'm looking at the chat on the Restream.io, I can see actually chats from like all over the place, like from Facebook, from YouTube, different places. That's cool. So, my friends, which one of those? I think he meant flip the POV 180 degrees. Yeah, I can't do that really here on this. It's a little bit hard. Air cooler. I would love to use the air cooler as well. Like, this air cooler is so cheap. So cheap. Like, this one cost, I think, let me check the latest pricing right now. I think it's like about $30 or something. Let's have a look. We have Pure Rock, not Dark Rock. Pure Rock Slim 2. Pure Rock Slim 2. And it's $33. This cooler costs $33, which is actually cheaper than the Cooler Master Hyper 212. Let's see how much that is. Yeah, it is cheaper than the Cooler Master Hyper 212, which is like very famous cheap air cooler. I would love to know that. I would love to know how good this is. We can see Pure Loop over there, and voila. Kevin just been unemployed for the last 16 months, but finally got a new job and start on Monday. Kevin, that is seriously good news. I hope this is gonna go well. Thanks for sharing that. That is awesome. What cooling system do I prefer? Dane is asking. So basically, this little guy over here that's so cheap, like I'm quite impressed to actually see how well does this perform, because our CPU is 65 watt TDP, right? This is rated 130 watt TDP. Check this out, look at that. 130 watt TDP, which is like this little guy to be actually so cheap and so powerful of a cooler. I would love to see this one. And then maybe we can use this one on another build somewhere else, because, you know, it's like nice and AIO and things like that. But I think for this combination, this cooler would be a little bit an overkill, and this one is like 2 or 3 times the price. Actually it's almost 3 times the price. Just under 3 times of the price of the small cooler. So if you wanna, I can see air cooler over here. Go air cooler. I think we're gonna go with air cooler. Okay. I know that the fan is only 92 millimeters, but we're gonna go with an air cooler because it's a budget build. Okay, let's leave this one for latest for another build over there. But this Pure Rock Slim is gonna be our one. 9B26 is saying, thanks for your recommendation, just got a 3070 Ti. And yeah, I think he mentioned me somewhere before on Instagram or somewhere asking for a few recommendations, and then he got that. It seems an expensive board for 5600X. Kevin, you're actually right. Like in terms of the, yeah, like a slot in the budget, the motherboard is going to take a lot of the budget for, you know, in our budget, and so does our graphics card. But the 5600X, for example, for someone who doesn't do a lot of video rendering but needs it for maybe After Effects, maybe, you know, a lot of photo editing in Photoshop, or Lightroom Classic, for example, Lightroom, then this is going to be absolutely awesome. What GPU are you going to use? Well, we're going to get at that in a moment. If you want to get a little peek, you can check out the, you know, description below to get those over there. Let's get this second one up here. Boom. Let's get this cooler installed. So in the box, look at these 6 little heat pipe ends, even though there's three heat pipes over there. Okay, we have 2 of these with these mounting options. Okay, I'm not a big fan of those mounting options because this is just like a little plastic bit, so I'm not sure how well that's gonna go. Well, it's probably gonna hold on all right, but look at these teeny tiny little fan. Teeny tiny. Okay, this is 120 millimeters. This is 92 millimeters. Look at that. But it should still be very, very quiet. So let's get this out from the box. Okay, I'll have to be careful with this one because there's pre-applied thermal paste on the bottom over there. And I'm so glad these are for Intel. Yes, look at this. If you're on AMD, check out how easy the actual installation of the cooler is. So check this out. There's like these 2 clips on the cooler, and then the already installed like brackets for the cooler on the motherboard. These literally slot underneath there, and then we're literally just going to get that in. So I think that's in, right? And then it goes that way. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slot the cooler down, and once you slot it down, try to not move it anymore, or try to not lift it from the motherboard anymore. So let's get this one side in. Okay, there we go. We got one of those in over there. Okay, let's get that in. Like once, oh my word. Anyone noticed what I've done? Be quiet, I left it the other way, the wrong way. Should have checked that. Reverse the writing on the cooler. Oh my word. Anyway, do you know what? I'm gonna leave it. Do you know why? Because our case does not have no, actually, I can't, because the fan will gonna go this way. Just gonna have to go for it. Just gonna have to bite the bullet and get this cooler replaced the other way. Okay, I think our thermal pad is gonna be fine. Yeah, we're gonna have to do it again. Let's get this cleaned up and then put it in. Where is my... There it is. This is like two... No, it's not two. 2 out of 3 live streams I've put the cooler on the wrong way. I'm getting into like a bitwit kind of scale of getting things wrong. Let's drop these in there. We're gonna get our alcohol in there. Okay. So you call that a GPU mid-range, I would call it high-end GPU. You can, but actually in terms of content creation, I think there is a lot of GPUs above the this 3070, especially now 3070 Ti. And if you look at how well does the 3070 perform like in the chart, then it basically performs exactly the same, well, very similar to 3060 Ti. 3060 is a little bit below, but 3060 Ti and 3070, there isn't that big of a difference. But can I be honest with you guys? Like, I don't have all the stocks of everything in the world here as well. So I'm basically recycling a GPU I used on another build before. If you've seen my Peter McKinnon build, then, you know, I'm actually using that cooler from there. At least I'm not doing a Linus. Yeah, Linus would literally just get it the other way and literally put it in. I can't do it. I'm gonna have to properly clean it, and that's that. That link links you to a 3090. It shouldn't. It should give you a results of 3070. Let me just double check that it does. GPU. Yeah, well, the first card is 3090, you're right, Kevin, but the actual like search result terms are 3070. It's those people who... Okay, that's a little bit annoying. In fact, it's really, really annoying on this cooler, because the cooler has like a little pattern on it. So if you try to like clean it with like some toilet paper, you're gonna actually leave a lot of residue in here. So like there's a lot of papers in there. So what I'm gonna do is, let me see if I have one of these. I have one of those. Okay, I don't want to lose this one because that's quite... Oh, actually, it's alright. So this is a microfiber cloth. So I'm going to use this one instead here to clean this off. So I'm not going to leave any residue. But as you can see, there's still stuff coming off. Let's get a bit of alcohol. This is isopropanol, sorry. 99.98% pure alcohol. So we're literally gonna clean this off over here. Look how much there still is in there stuff. Okay. Let's get this nicely cleaned up one way. So I'm not gonna leave any residue. It's quite annoying, like there's like a spinning way of what is it, like a sander or something that's been like actually like cleaned it or polished it off. So that's why it's like that. Okay, let me put these in there. So our cleaner of the cooler is done. So if every time you reseat a cooler you need to reapply the paste, yes, I would. Now, would it actually matter in terms of performance that much? Like, will you gonna see a massive performance? It depends. The reason for that is that you don't know if your CPU or the cooler is caved, or what's it called? What's the words? You know, when it's like bubbly up or like a bit caved down. So basically, if you put it back, you might not get a perfect like connection for them both. But the cool thing about this cooler is that even though it has 3 heat pipes, it's got direct connection, or actual, what's it called? Not connection. Yeah, direct connection between the heat pipes and the cooler. So we're gonna do that. So I've got my good old Noctua thermal paste over here. We're gonna put a little blob over here and then push that down. Okay, let's get that out. So yeah, so this is the question I answered over here. Sashin is saying every time you reseat a cooler, I would apply thermal paste again. Yes, clean it properly off with alcohol or something like that. I'm gonna put a little blob like that. That should be fine. Okay, do this over there as well. Just a little bit on that side. Okay. Are you using A7S III for both cams? No, actually, A7S III is this camera over here, but this one over here is not A7S III, and the top camera especially isn't A7S III. If you want to know what equipment I'm using, I'm gonna be cheeky and tell you to. Oh, I almost installed it the wrong way again. Oh. That would have been bad to do the mistake twice. Okay, let's sit it down there. Let me try to get that over that bracket over there. There we go. Over that bracket over there. And this side over that bracket over there as well. Okay, and then once both of these are over, what you want to do is literally pull both of these little clips or little arms. We're going to just push them the other way. Boom and boom, and our CPU is installed. Whoa, that is on really tight and really well. Really good application. Let me see, how's our thermal paste application? Let's see if we got it. I think we got it really well actually. So that is installed. Now we're gonna have to put this on as well. Let's get our coolers over here. Paul, I'm kind of new here, saw it in my recommendations. Welcome, nice to have you over here. So we're gonna put these through like that, and then this through like that. And let's install the cooler. Okay, I think that's needs a bit more down. Let's put it there. And this side. Oh. There we go. There we go. That's on quite nice. Let's see if it actually went in. Yeah, that's gone in right. Very good. So our cooler is installed. All we have to do is plug it into Okay, the CPU fan, which is the top part over here. There's another one underneath that says the CPU optional. So we're gonna just put it on the top over there. Let's hide this cable somewhere down there as well. This is cool. It feels a little bit odd that we've got such a high-end motherboard and such a cheap cooler, but I'm super excited to actually test it out, like how good this is. Could you use that cooler on a 5900X? You probably could, Reptile News, to use it on a 5900X, because like the rated on the specs, be quite saying you can, because 5900X is 105 TDP, this is 130 watt TDP. You could do that. I don't know. You should try it out. I'd love to try it out, but I can't do it. If I wanted to do that, I'd have to like rip that PC behind me apart, but I wouldn't want to do that. So I need. Kevin is saying the blacked out cheap CPU cooler would have looked nicer. I absolutely agree. If the blacked out one would have looked nicer. But I think this is all right. Like, because our case doesn't actually have, man, my brain just freezes all the time today on this live stream. Our case doesn't have the window. I tried to request the windowed one, but actually it was probably my fault. I said 609 pure base 601 to them. I didn't mention that I wanted the tempered glass version. So when I got it, I was like, yay. And then on the box it said other versions, tempered glass version. I was like, oh no. So that's that. Yes, Kevin, that is a 92mm fan. Abdul is saying, what processor did I use? This is a AMD Ryzen 5600X. If anybody is just tuning in right now and they're wondering like, what's going on over here, the links for everything I'm talking about is in the description below. Okay, so this is installed, that's installed. I'm gonna get the case out of the box now, because next thing is we're gonna put our motherboard in the case. But while I'm getting the case out of the box, there's a lot of new people tuned in. I want to quickly mention again, this stream is sponsored by Restream.io. So we're going to listen to a little message from our sponsor while I'm getting this out from the box, and then we're going to be coming back. So let's do that.
Would you like to 3x your reach with your live streams while upping the production quality without spending a single dollar? Here's where Restream.io comes in. Restream is a powerful browser-based live stream tool that allows you to restream to multiple social media sites at the same time. But it also pulls all the chats from all the different sites and combines it into one chat, so it's easy for you to keep track of all the messages from different platforms. And not just that, it also offers a very simple to use Restream Studio that lets you design your live stream and customize it to your brand. Restream Studio makes it also very easy to invite in guests for your live stream, even if they're on the other side of the world. And there's much more. The best part of all that is that all that I've just mentioned comes with a free plan. If you're interested in more advanced features like streaming to Facebook pages, stream recordings online, stream pre-recorded videos, 6+ stream participants, full HD streaming and more, then check out all the paid plans and choose which fits your budget. Check out Restream.io in the video description below.
Okay, there we go. Finally the case is out. It's here. Let me put this cooler somewhere away for now. Let's put it there. So, look at this case. So, let me get a few of the panels off in a moment, but it's got let's get this angle. Sorry guys. So here it is. Look at the front. It's quite nice orange over here, and I thought this would look cool because we're gonna have like these little orange and well kind of goldeny trims on the motherboard, so I thought this would look cool as well. And yeah, it's quite like a mid-range case. It's not too expensive, not like over the top, and because it's Be Quiet, I wanted to like see how well does it perform in terms of the actual thermal performance and the quietness. Wait a second, how on earth do you get these off from these? Oh, my friends, look at this one over here. This is like a new case for me. I haven't actually looked at anything in this case before, so everything is new. In the back over here, there is like a few buttons. So can you see this? We're gonna press that, and boom, the case back side panel comes off. Okay, and then comes up like that. Okay, look at this one. You don't see this in every single case, but Be Quiet, as you can see, there's a massive, like a little pad in there, like a little foam that's supposed to keep the PC really, really quiet. If someone really needs a PC, you know, that stays quiet, then it would be really nice to check that out. Another push over here and get the other panel off. And look, this panel as well. Both sides of the panel have this on over here, so it's pretty cool. I think, you know, you're gonna pay a little bit for the quietness, or, you know, quiet of the case, but it's pretty cool. As you can see on the back over there, we have a few other orange features over there, if you're into that type of thing. And on this side, we have that as well. So our case accessories are taped inside over here. So we're gonna take this off. As you can see, it's orange, so I think we're gonna get some orange features, a few accessories. So let's have a look at the case then. From the front, the other thing is that the airflow might be a little bit of an issue over here, because you only have these little like panels here where the airflow goes through. Let me see where this is. How does the front panel come off? Don't want to pull anything off. Let's have a look. How do we get this off? I think it should just like pull off, as far as I know. Let's see what's in this case. Okay, few accessories. We're gonna look at them in a moment. Okay, let's see. I think it's the. Does the whole thing come off? Oh yeah, okay. Let's see. There are these. Okay. We have this underneath there. Little dust filter. And then, okay, how do we get this off now? Don't want to break it. I can see these clips. Okay, it should just come off if I... Man, this is on... I need some help here. Come on. Man, I can't figure it out how it comes off. It's on so tight. Ah, okay, I think the... Okay, I see. This front panel should come off a bit easier. What stupid of me. So it comes on quite easy, just literally pops up like that. Let me show you that again. So these side panels actually don't come off. This front panel comes off, okay? The only thing is like, okay, I don't get that. In terms of the airflow, there is a little bit of an issue over here, just looking at this case. So basically this front panel is completely, boom, solo. Solo? Someone said YOLO, so my brain just went, solo! So it's completely solid, right? So it goes in there like that. And then these like side vents, they don't actually lead to the same chamber as the front, because the sides will like cover it. So this fan, or like this filter over here, almost feels like okay, let's get this off. No, maybe it's gonna filter some of this air as well that comes from the sides, but I don't think this is like a very high airflow case. It would be nice if there was an actual like panel for the front as well that's like mesh. But look at this, another sound dampening foam over here as well. Whoa, this is gonna be very, very quiet. Looking at the case, maybe it would have been a better idea to go with the AIO, because like our top is a little bit better filtered in terms of like the out. But yeah, I think Be Quiet does a mesh panel for this case as well, but let's take this off. So let's have a look at another few things about this case then. We have the 240mm Be Quiet fans over here. These are Be Quiet. Let me see what fans are there. Pure Wings 2. All right, 1000 RPM. So not that fast, but you know, all right, okay. So I'm gonna move first of all this higher up over here, because I want the air to like literally blow a little bit higher, because this one literally blows it a little bit like on the GPU side, not on the CPU side. So let's move the front panel fan a bit higher. Okay. How you guys doing? Who is actually like in the process of thinking about building themselves a PC, or who isn't? I know that the like PC parts stock is not actually like the best right now, so it's not like the best time to build a PC for yourself, even though some parts are actually cheaper than before, just so you know. If anyone's looking to like actually put something together for themselves, like obviously graphics cards are deadly overpriced, but there's some other parts that aren't. For example, motherboards are quite cheap these days. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to take those screws out because. Okay, that's interesting. Show you this in a moment. But these, there's like little washers for these screws. Bible Prophecy Made Clear is saying, I'm looking to build a workstation, would love to see you do a used workstation build. Used workstation build? I think you mean like use parts, but build a workstation, right? That's quite good. It's a quite good idea actually. Just need to find the sponsor, because like I literally can't afford buying all these PC parts and then building these. Like I'm getting a little bit more, to be honest with you. Not too much of things sent, but for this build, for example, Be Quiet helped me out with these, and ASUS sent their board for loan. And so like some of them companies are helping me out with those ideas I have, but not as much as like big channels that literally get loads of them sent. Okay, let me see. I need a little bit of this fan. It needs to come a little bit higher. Let's see, where is it plugged in? Okay, sorry, I'm doing a little bit of a cable adjustment over here. Okay, the other like downside, well, it's not like dead bad, but these fans aren't PWM fans. These are DC fans. Okay, so let me move this a little bit higher. Something about that is fine. Can you guys see as well? Let me put it this way. Yeah, so you can see a little bit on the side. Let's have a look. What's people saying over here? Okay, okay. Okay, that's over here. That will blow it through that way. What if I'm gonna move the fan to the inside? I think I'm gonna do that, you know. I'm gonna move the fan on the inside of the frame, just because then it's gonna leave a little like little vapor chamber. No, what's it called? Like a little chamber in the front of this case, so we're not literally so close to the front panel, because then there's a little gap like that, which means there's actually some air to be pushed through. Okay. Next time, fix the cam at the back. I can't really fix the cam at the back because I can't put the tripod on this side, just the way how it goes. Actually, maybe, no, I can't. Unfortunately, I can't fix it. That's what it is. Okay, I need to get this through to the other side of this. Let me see. There we go. Reptile News is saying he's building a new machine with this motherboard in the next coming weeks. Okay, very cool. No, actually, this is probably just to save a little bit more of space over here, Kevin, because if I show you the front, I'll show you this in a moment. You're not gonna get it dead like nicely on the sides. Oh, maybe they have actually put it that way. Does that look dead bad? Maybe. Okay, let me just trust that the Be Quiet way is better than my way and go with that one. I'm not gonna go Linus on this. I'm just gonna plug it over there. Okay. They've got like little sticky pads for these screws, so I'm not like a dead fan of these, because like I know it's like a nice pad for, actually, yeah, they've put it on the case. I would have much rather have like actual anti-vibration pad on the fan. If you wanted to do that, okay. It's getting quite boiling in here now. Leslie is saying the noise from that case really reduced to noticeable levels, and how is the heat? Well, that's why we're building this. This is a build video, and then we're actually going to make videos. We're going to test this afterwards, how like quiet this is, and like will it reduce the noise. It's kind of hard to like compare it with the pads or without the pads. Well, we could rip it off, but we're gonna see like how quiet this is, especially because we've got an air cooler, which can be a bit louder than an AIO. Sometimes AIOs are louder as well, so it's not like a golden rule that they are louder, but often the air cooler like fans maybe ramp up a little bit higher than the AIOs. So our fan now is through. Let me put this back over here. Boom, boom. And then that goes for this extension. Okay. I don't think it came from this extension. Yeah. Which ASUS motherboard do you recommend for Ryzen 9 5900X? Mostly I do industrial design work, so like 2D like Photoshop and 3D modeling and rendering. I would do gaming a little bit, but that's secondary. So when you choose the motherboard, often people think that one motherboard like gives you a better performance than another motherboard, but that is not actually true. Basically, motherboards just offer you connectivity and not really performance. And this is with an asterisk, because I know if people know a little bit more about PC parts, they're like, yeah, but some motherboards can offer you PCI 4.0 where some can't, and that is true, but it doesn't give you any better CPU performance or GPU performance just because you have that motherboard. So basically, if you wanted a motherboard for your build, what you want to do is you just literally look for the feature you like. A lot of USB ports, if that is important to you. Is there a lot of M.2 ports on the motherboard? Is that important to you? You know, just see what you like and then literally go for that. I think ASUS has quite a few of them. Try ASUS Prime line. They're quite affordable and you know, quite good. So let's put this in. I think yes, the standard holes. Our almost left that on. There we go. Okay. Okay, I don't want this. Okay, don't want to scratch the back of the motherboard. Let me see. Okay. There we go. Boom. Our motherboard is in. When will GPU prices go down? Now, if I knew that answer, Nova Gaming, then I would be a millionaire if I actually knew like what the prices would do. Now, there are some people that say that indicate that the prices are on the way down. Okay, they've hit their peak and now they're on the way down, and it's mostly because of the cryptocurrency problem, or cryptocurrency actual crash. So interesting, you get only like these 3 screws. Let's see, I think these are the screws for the motherboard. Let's have a look. So cryptocurrency is probably like crashing or just crashed, so that will help. The other thing is it this one or the other one? Let's have a look. The other thing is that there is like the used market of the GPUs. You can see a little dip in there that indicates that it's coming down. And like, I know that NVIDIA, yeah, that's not the right one. I know that NVIDIA is like, looks like there's no NVIDIA or AMD cards in stock. But if you look at the charts of actual metrics, how many cards NVIDIA has shipped out, for example, then you can easily see that NVIDIA has shipped more 3000 series GPUs out than 2000 series GPUs out at the same time, like 2000 series launch and 3000 series launch. But like a lot of them just go to like scalpers and like, you know, crypto miners. So that's why we're not seeing them as well. Actually, very big amount of GPUs are being shipped out by NVIDIA, even though they're okay, yeah, that's fine. Even though their like manufacturing might be down a little bit, they're still shipping out quite a lot of GPUs. but just the demand of the general GPUs is so much higher, and that's that. So what else do we have over here? It just feels like the screws are like the wrong screws, but they for sure aren't, because these are the only options. Like the thread, maybe there's a bit too much. Yeah, some of the holes go in like very well, but it feels like some of the other holes go in a little bit harder. Is 1060 going to bottleneck when paired with 5600X? Now, this depends what you are doing. If you are doing video editing in Premiere Pro, for example, then no, this will not bottleneck your system. If you're doing video editing, for example, in DaVinci Resolve, then the answer is yes. Most likely you're going to see a little bit of a bottleneck over there with the GPU. But in Premiere Pro, it likes to have a little bit more CPU power than GPU power, so that will be completely fine. It just very obviously depends like what you do with the system, but I don't think this would be a bottleneck for you. Near is saying that he's heard that the LHR graphics cards are half the price of current non-LHR models, and I think that could be right. If people don't know what LHR means, it means a low hash rate. So basically they are crippled a little bit from the factory to not be as good for cryptocurrency mining, but sorry, still would give you good performance in gaming and professional applications and things like that. But if it is true, that would be really awesome if those cryptocurrency, low hash rate cards would go lower. Like I would love to get 3080, 3090 of low hash rate cards in the system. Johnny Summer is saying, any other benefits or any extra benefits for using the ProArt motherboard and the monitor together, even though the GPU? Well, not really. There are some, like, I don't think the combo will give you any extra features. Like, I haven't looked so much into the monitor, the ProArt monitor, but I know it's a fantastic monitor for the price, especially. You're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck. I'm hoping to make a video about that monitor actually soon. Well, I'm hoping we're talking about the same monitor, but that's what I've seen. I think the motherboard, you're gonna get like a few different software features for the ProArt series things. So that's that. But now, time for graphics card. This one is RTX 3070 Founders Edition. I think the Founders Edition graphics cards are the nicest looking graphics cards ever built. I don't know about you, but it's absolutely beautiful. Just I really like the design. I like the minimal design. I don't like all those RGBs and like fancy like weird angles and like what a lot of the gaming cards are, even though they have better cooling and maybe perform a few percent better. I still like those Founders Edition cards the most. They're just like the nicest cards out there. So let's slot our GPU in. Let's open the pod. Sorry, I know the top angle will be a little bit weird, but Okay. Boom. Look at that. It fits in with our, you know, cooler. That's silver. And looks really, really slick on the motherboard as well. That's really cool. This cable, I left it attached when I pulled it out from the computer. It's basically the weird 12-pin adapter from NVIDIA to a normal 8-pin or 6+2 PCIe power. So let's screw this down. And okay, we are done. Let's have a look. EG Gaming, is NVIDIA GT 710 good GPU? Not at all. It's very, very low end GPU. So let me put it this way. And what we're gonna do now is a little bit of a cable management. So we don't need this extra hard drive cage because we're gonna have no hard drives in there. Or cable ties, yeah, maybe we'll use that. We'll put these case accessories there. All those screws and things we're gonna drop down there as well. Keep it all together. Okay. And let's start doing the cables. So let's move on to this one. So let's have a look what's happening on this side. Hi, DO344 from Indonesia. Do you think NZXT X63 is an overkill for 5600X? Yes. I wanted to try the precision boost overdrive that you mentioned on one of your videos. If the temps hover around 65-70, it would be nice. I don't think you're gonna see even those temps around with that cooler, but well, if you like the NZXT cooler, that's fine. I just personally don't like how they work, and like you really have to have like their software, and it works best with like all of their stuff, which I don't like that much. I like coolers that I'm like, yeah, they work with MSI boards, they work with like other cases and other fans and other things, but with like NZXT, you just have to use like the NZXT cam and all of their software, and if you want the RGB to work, you have to use their stuff, and I just don't like it as much, even though I've got to admit their like design of the cases are like the nicest design of those. Okay, so it comes in from here. Where is our one second, my friends. Oh yeah, sorry, just freaked myself out. Didn't see the front panel audio port over there. I think some people are okay. We have USB 2.0 here. Let's put that in on there. Okay, so that goes there. Where is our USB 3.0 header? Okay, it's on that side, and there's one on this side. I'm gonna go for this side because it's just easier. Ding, 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 ding. How much is all of this? How much is all of this PC? Someone is asking. To be honest, I actually didn't put all of the price together, so I don't like know the latest pricing of all of this, if I'm completely honest. But it is what it is, I guess. Okay, these are the power switch, P plus LED. Okay, and that goes over there. Now this is the place where I always take up the actual instruction manuals, because I can't remember. Okay, I'll put this inside there as well. I often can't remember the front panel audio layout. And recently on 2 of the builds, I've put them in the wrong place, because sometimes the front panel I/O ports or headers look very similar to USB 2.0, and I just looked and I've accidentally plugged it USB 2.0. But we're gonna have a look at, come on, where is our front panel audio? CPU. Okay, this is that. We have that. No, not M.2. USB 3.0, USB that, USB-C. Oh, do we have USB-C? We don't. This case does not have USB-C front panel connector. Okay, USB 2.0s. These RGB headers. Nope. Yes, system panel header. You can use an RX 6700 XT in that build. Yeah, I guess I could. You're right about that. But I usually, if you're a creator, you should really stay away from all AMD motherboards, because they are just not performing as well as NVIDIA motherboards. Okay, those panels in. Let's have a look at the front panel now. Let me turn the case on the other side, because then you can see what we're doing. Actually, before we do that, let's put our power supply in as well. The question is, should we install 2 more fans or not? There is 220mm fans over here. What's the speed? 1100 RPM. So we could have a bit more intake, like 2 more of them in here, if we wanted to. The question is, do we want to? I'd like to know what it's like before I'm gonna install those, and then afterwards see if we can do that. So our power supply. Dun, 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 dun. This is, what power supply do we have? So if you don't know what power supply this is Be Quiet Pure Power 11 FM. This is 650 watts, which is like plenty for this system, and it is 80 plus gold. That's cool. Sunnyhawk Adventures is saying dual GPU for editing. And the question is, which program are you using for editing? If you are using Adobe Premiere Pro, then like no way, Jose. Like you're gonna see an absolute, like such a small difference in terms of like 2 GPUs and 1 GPUs, that is absolutely not worth it. So I wouldn't do that. In DaVinci Resolve, you're going to see a little bit of a more gain, and the scaling works a little bit better, but not on this. Okay, so this is our, oh, interesting. Supposed to. They have an interesting collector's motherboard. Oh, let's turn that quiet. So SATA port, yes, we do need one of those SATA cables as well. This is another SATA. Nope. CPU. Yes, we need 1 CPU. Shall we put 2 CPUs? Yeah, let's put 2 CPUs. Oh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. Would you look at that? I've never seen that on any of the power supplies, but yet here we have this. Just literally 4 pin for the CPU. Because usually they're literally split it between 2, but this one actually has a 4 pin. Oh no! They gave me a EU power cord. It's alright. I've got one over here. So that's that. Let's plug them in then. So MB. Okay, that's interesting. So we have this one that goes for the motherboard. So let's plug this one in over here. Okay, that goes in here. That goes in here. That's a bit better. What option do you recommend mainly for 4K editing? A PC build with Ryzen 7 3700X paired with 3060 or a MacBook Pro 13-inch M1? 4K editing. Where are you editing? Where do you want to edit? Are you editing in... A second. I'm Motherboard P8. Okay, so this is CPU. Where are you editing? Are you editing on DaVinci Resolve? Are you editing on Final Cut? Are you editing on Premiere Pro? Where are you editing? So the interesting thing is, like I mentioned before, this is literally a 4-pin CPU extra power, because there's like an 8-pin and 4-pin. Usually the CPU power comes like this, so you have 4 plus 4 pin like together. Then you can split them if you wanted to. These are like clipped together, but this actually goes in half. So there's 4 and 4, but this, I've never seen an actual power supply that comes literally with 4 pin, but this one does. So we're going to use that because our motherboard, wait a second, did our motherboard, that was close. Put the motherboard end on here. Does our motherboard have 4? Yep, that's 2. So we're going to leave that one there, and then we're going to have one for our GPU. That's GPU, and then one for SATA. Udan Paranvithana is saying, what is the best monitor for color grading? I do have a best bang for buck pro monitor on the channel. If you want to check out something that's like a bit like on a budget side, but if you want to know like what is the best monitor for color grading, then you might want to check out like some very expensive monitors from ASUS, Dell, ViewSonic. I wonder if they're like mother or daughter companies or something like that. That would be quite funny. So there's a nice pad on the power supply shroud. There's like a little soft pad over here. So that goes there. Where is our box? Yeah. These. Uh-oh. There we go. Let me see. So that's what I would say for color grading. Udan. Karam was saying, came back to me like, where is he editing? It's mainly about the price. The MacBook will be cheaper and I will edit on Final Cut if I will be using the MacBook Pro. Then if you will be going for Final Cut, then go for it. Use the MacBook Pro. but I would get like a monitor. Whoa. There's literally just a bird outside the window. That would be funny if it came in on the live stream. Where's my screws? There's another set of screws. Let's see if they're any better. Wonder if these are for the power supply. Oh, I think these are for the power supply, actually. Yeah. Whoa, did you hear that? It's literally a bird outside. Yeah, I would go with a MacBook Pro if you want to do editing on that. But the question is, like, do you want the actual screen and things as well, or do you want literally the cheapest like editing experience when you go with the M1 device? If you want the cheapest experience, just go with the Mac Mini. Like, you get the most power for your money with the Mac Mini, just because it is just so much cheaper than like rest of the M1 devices, because for the other M1 devices you're going to pay for screens and keyboards and things like that. So I would definitely think about the Mac Mini. Other thing to think about is the RAM size. If you want your PC to last longer, then go for the 16 gigabytes of RAM, not 8 gigabytes, because on the M1 device the RAM actually works a little bit differently than on the Windows device. For example, on Windows systems, when your RAM is full, and then, you know, it starts to slow down. On M1 device, when your RAM is full, what the computer is going to do is it's going to write some of those temporary files on the SSD of the device, which actually massively reduces the lifespan of the SSD. So you might be like running low on the SSD lifespan quite quickly. So if you want your SSD to last, get 16 gigabytes, and that will be much better. That's what I would do. Okay, so let's plug these cables in now. I'll leave it on this angle. In terms of the fan, I'm going to leave the fan up because it's going to look nice through the case as well. And at the same time, it's going to take some of this like warmish air from the case and then going to push it out from there. So it acts as like a little extra, like a fan or exhaust for the case. So I'm going to leave it fan up. That's the point. You want the screen of the MacBook. Yeah, what do you want the MacBook screen for? Like, you could get an absolutely awesome 4K monitor for the same kind of specs or even bigger. But just so you know, like, if you never edited video before, then editing on a bigger screen is much better. Like 13-inch screen, I would really struggle editing it on editing anything on a 13-inch screen. It'd be so small. I think minimum is like 24, like the absolute minimum. Like a really good size is 27-inch monitor. If you can go for that size monitor. Okay, guys, we're very close to getting this PC turned on. So we've got this power supply. Let me turn it to this side, so you can see a little bit what we're gonna do. Let's turn some of these things up over here. Okay. So this big chungus of a cable is gonna go through. Gonna go through this hole here. We'll push that on that side. Then we have our GPU cable. Let's see if we can forget that the GPU cable has to go through over here from this hole. And our CPU cables, 1 and 2. Let's put these up high on here. The cool thing is, like, you're not gonna see. Oh, where are these gonna be plugged in? Oh, I see. You can adjust the fan speed on the case. Okay. Because basically all of these like fans are going to this fan extension and they're going to connect to the case, and then you have a USB like 2.0 header that goes into the motherboard, and then that will be adjusting the speed through this little pod over here. But I don't really like that. I'd like to configure the speed of the fans on the actual motherboard. So I'm going to take these off from here, and then I'm going to slot those into the motherboard ports. So we'll leave one of them. Let's see, chassis fan, and this will be this one over there, or that over there. No, I don't want to put it over there. Let's put it over there. Chassis fan 2. Okay. So this will go through on the bottom over there. There we go. And then this is gonna go in here through this port. These CPU 1 cables are gonna go there. Okay, we can leave this down here plugged in as well already. Okay, let's move on to this side. It's quite funny seeing like our GPU and CPU cooler. Like the GPU looks so small. Okay, let me get different modes over here. There we go. Okay, let's not use this one. I'm gonna use this. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. That's why it's good to have an aperture light. You can just literally magnet it down there so we can see what we're doing. Okay, this is one of the headers for our fan. Goes over there. Then another one is down here. Let's get this down. Okay, this is our GPU power. Like the only annoying thing is that there's like no nice way to put this GPU power cable. It's just gonna look odd whichever way you're gonna look at it. So we're gonna leave that over there. Let's see our motherboard power. Let's plug that in over here. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's put in CPU. By the way, if anybody's wondering like why on earth am I even putting the second PC power in there, because like this, sorry, CPU power in there, because this CPU is only 65 watts TDP, so very like low in terms of the TDP power. Okay. Come on, let's get it in there. Come on. Yes. Then I'm literally putting it in there just because I can, and I want to show that you can do that. This like motherboard has 2 ports for the CPU power. There's an extra 4 pin for the CPU power. So if you're running like a bit more high-end CPUs, maybe Ryzen 9s, 5950X or something like that, and you want to use the PBO on and want to let the motherboard or the CPU motherboard know that you can, yeah, just put loads of power through my CPU if you wanted to, then you can do that by using this secondary. Ugh. CPU 4-pin port. Okay, it's a little bit tight over there. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. And I can't see a thing. But we're gonna get it in. Man, I can't see a thing. Okay, that's better. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. Okay, there we go. We got it in. So, double check. We have CPU power in. GPU power, motherboard, this, that, CPU fan, yep, that's in. Our CPU fan is, chassis fan is in the back over there. This is in over there. Okay, now these switches over here. Sorry, let's have a look. What do we have? What are people saying? Hi Near, is CL16 RAM better than CL14 RAM better than CL16? And the simple answer for just that part of the question is yes, it is better. Does it depend on the RAM frequency as well? Yes, absolutely. Now, I've got a plan on making like a full test on this, like how does it affect, like which one is more important, the latency or the RAM speed. But in order to test all this and show you the actual performance difference in Premiere Pro, for example, I'm gonna need a lot of different sticks of RAM. So if anybody knows like a RAM provider who could give me or lend me a lot of different sticks of frequency, different sizes and different latencies, then I would love to test that out. That's like one of the plans, but I haven't had a chance to really reach out and talk to people about that. That's just one of those things I'd like to get done. So let's have a look. PLED plus and PLED minus go on the top over there. Okay, there we go. Plus and minus. Plus goes on the right and that goes on the left. Okay. So plus, minus. What do we have next over here? What's that? HDD LED. That goes on the bottom. Plus and minus. Okay. Whoa. Okay, I think our battery died over there. Did it die? Yeah, I think our battery died on the A7S2, so we're gonna leave that one off for now then. Let's plug in the HDD LED then. Then we are almost done, and let's see if we can start getting this Windows installed on this device. Okay, we have reset and power switch. I think power switch should go next to it over there. Okay, power button there. So should go that way. Reset switch. No, let's have a look on this way. There, that way. They always go like in awkward ways and so awkward stuff. And this is like the bit that I don't like, that I like the least. Let's just say, doing like the front panel connectors over there. Okay, that's done. As you can see, my PC is done. Let's put the panel on over here, so we'll know what it's gonna look like. Which side is this? Is that the back side? Yeah. Completely wrong way. Goes in like that. Boom. Okay. That is in. Actually, I'm going to leave the front panel off because, sorry, side panel off, because we want to see if everything is working, like all the fans are spinning and things like that. There is one more thing in the back over here that we're going to do. No, I think I did it already. Yes, the SATA is in. All of these are in. This doesn't need to be in because all of them three will be connected through that. Okay, and that's it. I'm just going to literally leave it down there because you can't see anything from the back, which means we're just going to put the back panel on and then leave it at that. Okay. Okay. A bit of a squish over there, but we're doing good. Okay. You ready, guys? Let's put the front panel on as well. Sorry. Okay, it just feels like very solid down from the front. Okay. Okay. Did I go in? Yep. Okay, front panel's on. Looks very dark and cool over here. And everything is plugged in, which means now we only need to do is plug in the power and see that everything works. So in order for you to see that as well, I'm going to plug in the power for so you can see that what's happening over here as well. Okay, let's plug that in. Okay, boom. So our power is working now. Everything is in. There is no like indicator lights on the motherboard if these are on or not. So let's have a look what people are saying before we're going to turn this on. Oh, sorry, that left on quite a while. So let's just press the power button and then see what happens. Wow. Okay. Let me go on here so we can see if something's coming on. it resets its thing and then came back on. So it's looking at VGA, it's looking at DRAM. It's just like figuring out the configuration and things like that. Let's have a look if we can get it on. VGA, yep, boot. Okay, it went green. I think it's gonna boot now. Let's have a look, let's have a look. Okay, check this out. Would you look at that? Let me put this in so we can quickly maybe even start installing the Windows. I'm just gonna plug that in here. Let me get this a bit bigger because I need to see that. Voila! Let's put myself on that side. So there we go. Looks like this is working. Let me get that in here as well. I'm gonna get a Windows install stick in a moment. And then, boom. So we have total memory 32 gigabytes, 5600X. We have Kingston SSDs, F run to run setup. Boom. Let's have a look at the setup then. Okay, and we have our motherboard and all the things working over here. That's really cool. So we're gonna get Windows installed, and then let's see, we have 50 minutes left, and I'm gonna see if we can do a few of the benchmarks. So we're gonna do a really quick installation of this PC, and we're gonna get some you know, stuff on here. I'm just gonna wonder how we're gonna get the internet over here. I know I've got internet over there, but it should work also on Wi-Fi. So let me see if is the Wi-Fi on over here right now. Oops. Because if I pull the plug over there, I'm gonna turn the Wi-Fi on. I'm gonna connect that one as well. So just so you know, we get a little bit of a Wi-Fi connection over there, and then I can pull the internet from that side. Okay, perfecto. So if you are new here and you don't know what's happening, welcome. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hit the like button, it actually makes a difference. We're gonna do a few benchmarks live here as well, just to get like a taste of how this performs. Right now this PC is extremely quiet, so we're gonna start beefing it up a little bit in terms of the power that goes through there. But this stream is sponsored by Restream.io, and I'm actually using the service right now, and I'm absolutely loving this. And like, it's just an awesome service. I'm so glad that they wanted to partner up and wanted to show some of you guys, audience, share their service. And I'm a big fan of what they're doing. I'm right now using this. Basically, this has been streamed to quite a few different places at the same time: Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, a few different places. And it's awesome. But I'm gonna go get the USB stick, and if we're gonna listen a little sponsor message from Restream, just to get a little bit of a better idea what Restream.io is.
Would you like to 3x your reach with your live streams while upping the production quality without spending a single dollar? Here's where Restream.io comes in. Restream is a powerful browser-based live stream tool that allows you to restream to multiple social media sites at the same time. But it also pulls all the chats from all the different sites and combines it into one chat, so it's easy for you to keep track of all the messages from different platforms. And not just that, it also offers a very simple to use Restream Studio that lets you design your live stream and customize it to your brand. Restream Studio makes it also very easy to invite in guests for your live stream, even if they're on the other side of the world. And there's much more.
Okay, that's great. Like I had no sound on there working. Basically everything's fine. I was just trying to get the Wi-Fi working on the streaming PC and pull the Ethernet plug from there, but it didn't work, so I'm not gonna try to do that anymore. Hopefully this is not gonna be bad for that, but basically, yeah, don't do that. Don't pull the Ethernet plug on there. OBS can't automatically switch the internet, you know, like connection from Wi-Fi to USB, not Wi-Fi to Ethernet. Basically, that's that. My brain is like mush. So let's see our PC over here. Let's put ourselves in there. We have that in. Let's plug this in over there. Let's do a restart. Boom. Yes. Once the Windows starts installing, then I'm gonna start answering a few more of your questions, but this is great. Okay, let's see if we can get that Windows logo coming up over here now. Come on. Yeah. Come on. Windows install. We're gonna start it. Yes, look at these Windows circles. Come on. Okay, let's do that. So yes, we're gonna go next. Install now. If you don't have a product key, just press you don't have a product key and you can enter it later as well. We're gonna press Pro. Yes, Windows 10 Pro. Accept. Next. Custom. We want it on the top one because unallocated space 447, 465. Okay. Drive 0. I think this will be the one. So it's going to start Windows now. Let's do a little bit of a Q&A here while we're watching here. So, sorry Lewis, if you like, this has been a while since you messaged this one, but hi, 16 gigabytes and 512 gigabytes for Mac Mini. Yeah, yes, I would say so. That's like a very good budget option. There is a little bit of a place where you can really skim a little bit as well, and that is the 256 gigabyte of space storage on the Mac Mini, because that is gonna cost you $200 less, and I think you can easily like extend your storage some other ways and things like that. So all your projects and things should be in a cheaper storage. If you want to save, you can save a little bit over there as well. 512 gigabytes is a little bit more safer, just in case if you want like a bit more photos or videos or some other things like on the main drive. But 256 gigabytes is like what you can do that. Also, if you can really like opt in for the 10 gigabit Ethernet, unless you really know that you're not going to use it anytime soon and this is absolutely waste of time or money, I really think 10 gigabit Ethernet will be very good option for you know, anybody who's buying a Mac Mini, because you can just use it and recycle it later much better. So Damien Sonny is saying, if I use a GTX 1050 Ti on X570 motherboard and processor is 3700 3800 XT, will it bottleneck? It depends what you do. Okay, if you're a creator and you're a video editor and you do a lot of you know, video editing, then most likely no. If you're gonna do a lot of GPU heavy effects, yeah, it all depends on your workflow. If the workflow is CPU heavy, most likely you're not gonna bottleneck it that way. Let me see how good this is. Okay, it's getting the device ready. Oh, sorry, I'll keep this one on and then so we can actually see what's going on. Hi, Idea Hope from Sri Lanka. I can't believe there's quite a few people watching from Sri Lanka. It seems like a small island in the middle of like a big ocean. Seems like a lot of people watching this from here. That's cool. That magnetic light is super useful indeed. So, see, Karim is already answering these questions over here. Yeah, good job that cable management is not tempered glass. Yeah, like there's not that many cables and you're not going to see it. So this is literally, if you want to work on your PC, you want something built quickly, just throw it in there and that's it, you know. Okay, let's see what else do we have here. Victor is saying this PC build deserves a GG. Yeah. Okay, people can hear me now. Yeah, I know, it's because like it went off. Let's see the batteries. Yeah, there's okay. So let me know if you're watching this right now. There's 50 people watching it. Let me know if you are a video editor, photographer, or if you're doing any other way, like what type of creator are you? Boom, 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 boom. Skip, 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 skip. Okay, I'll have a few. Okay, there we go. Oh, wrong one. So I'm gonna put the password in. Man, don't look. I'm gonna put this on so you can't see. Oh, there we go. Like, I don't know if you can hear this PC right now, but it is very, very quiet. I'm gonna put this on as well, so we get a proper feel of how quiet this PC is. By the way, all the it's like very, very quiet. Okay, personal use, yes. Do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this for now. I'm gonna call it ProArt B550 Creator Board. Oh, sorry, we're gonna do offline account. Oh, sorry, I thought I can't really see. Do I care about the PC temps? Absolutely. It's like one of the most important things. Name of the PC, yes, we're gonna call it ASUS ProArt B550 Creator. Okay, that should do. Expert password 00. If anyone's getting this PC or stealing this PC, they'll know the password. It's 4 zeros. Security 1. Zero. Security question 2, 0. Security question 3, 0. There we go. Sunny Hawk is saying, just started video editing and my better half is a professional photographer. We just started collecting parts to build an editing system. That's cool. These are all no, 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 no. Okay, that is cool, Sunny Hawk. What are you thinking about in terms of the PC build? Victor DGA is scared of the temps with that case. I'll bet you this is going to be quite an okay, you know, quite a good temps on this case still. Not now. No, thanks. Hi. I think it's gonna be fine. How's the background music? Is it still okay? Is it still good? This might take several minutes. Hello people. Okay, we are in. Okay then. So, man, this is seriously okay. I'm gonna switch this on the other way. So I'm gonna put this over here. I'm gonna put this over here. With this, we don't need that. Okay, so this is all good. Cool. So maybe later. Download. Oh, look at that. That is very clever. Yes, let's install Armory Crate. That is a very good thing to know straight away that ASUS lets you do that because it's good. Okay, we're gonna do confirm. Come on, let us open Windows Edge. And the first thing we're gonna do is download Chrome. This is what I'm doing like every single time when I'm setting up a new PC. Literally download the Chrome because, sorry Windows, but I just can't do that. They're thinking about Ryzen 3950X with MSI MEG X570 Ace motherboard. We have two 6900 XT Sapphire GPUs, 3 TB of SSD, 1000 watt power supply. Ooh, 6900 XT. I think you're running a little bit close to the... Anyway, Sonny, if you can, why don't you try to get a 5900 XT instead of the 3950X? The reason for that is that the rendering performance between them two isn't that big of a difference, but you're going to see your PC much more snappier. And if you do any more like photography or photo editing on the PC, then the 5900X is going to be a little bit snappier than the 3950X. Basically, the 5900X 12-core CPU is like keeping up with the 3950X. And the 3950X really I would recommend is if you're just doing like Blender rendering and you want like all the cores that can render this. But for this configuration, I would actually go with 5900X because you're just going to see everything a little bit more snappier. Anyway, that's what I would do. We're going to have, where is the mouse settings? Need it a bit faster. Faster. Okay, there we go. Let's get rid of that. We're gonna go for default apps. We're gonna set this one to. This is also like interesting for people who don't know how I'm setting up all my PCs all the time. Then I'm gonna always set up a pin because when you do restarts and resets here all the time, having a pin really helps you out. To speed it up, we're going to start with the updates. Windows BIOS updates. Let's go for them. Check for updates. We know that there's stuff there, so start installing this. Near is asking 5600X or 11400F. Let me see what's the latest pricing for 11400F. Ah, I meant there's two keyboards. I'm all now confused. Which one is which? 11400F. Sorry. 11400F. Now here's the thing. That's a good question, and I don't quite know the answer, but I've wanted to figure it out. I wanted to actually see what the difference is on the 11400F, but the thing is, I think there is, depends what you do. If you want like the best bang for buck right now, I think the 11400F could be a very interesting option. If you're gonna do a bit more of, you want like a bit of more upgrade path, then I think AMD provides you a little bit more. So we're gonna download and install all of these updates. What else are we gonna go and do? We're going to we need, okay, let's start store, Microsoft Store. Let's get some benchmarks running over here, because that will be good. Cinebench. I don't know if you see this, but right now, like, this PC is extremely snappy. I don't know if you can see that, but our Ryzen 5600X is pretty solidly keeping up over here. Obviously, our memory is running at 2400 megahertz. We're gonna need to get that XMP on next time, but we're gonna get that installed. Next time we're gonna restart the PC. Then we'll go into BIOS and check that. But that's gonna be there. We're gonna unpin this. We're gonna put that one over there. We're gonna pin this on the taskbar. We're gonna go back to welcome here. And we're gonna go for download hardware monitor. Yes, I agree, because there's no other option. If I didn't agree, you wouldn't let me do it. No, we want this one here. Hardware monitor, setup English Classic. It always gives me the ads here. Download now. Yes, very nice. Harmony plate. Okay, downloading that. Let's look how snappy this PC is. It's ridiculous. No, don't want that desktop icon. We're gonna install that. Yes. Put that down there. Cinebench, come on. Can we get Cinebench on? Bam, 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 bam. Come on. I want to see like what the temps are like after I've done this Cinebench. We're gonna put like this throttling test on and to see how's it doing it. Come on. Download. Ding 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 ding. Come on. Who's ready for the temps? Who's ready for these temps now? Actually, let's get the hardware monitor already done to see like how well are we doing on the CPU temp side already. Let's see what's our CPU temps like. Look at that. No, that's not. Look at the wrong thing. Here we go. CPU temps over here. Okay, have a look at that. On the cooler. Okay. Launch the Cinebench. Yeah, let's go for it. Close this. Gonna accept this. While it's doing the downloading of that, yes, why not? And while it's doing the downloading of that, yes. Let's do this. Advanced setup. Now we're gonna put. First of all, what I'd like to do is before I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna create like a multi-core test here. Look at that. 61, 62. Oh. Look at that. No problem. 75 watts are running through the cooler. 63C on this. Don't need to worry about the temperatures because our CPU is a little bit not so powerful in terms of the wattage that goes through it. 64C on all of this when having 100% of CPU utilization is very, very good. Look, all 6 cores over here are running at 4.4 gigahertz. Believe that ASUS. My ASUS. I'm gonna do that later. But look at that. The only odd thing that I usually see over here on CPU clock speeds is that it can pull like all the different threads, all the 12 threads over here, but it only shows me like the 6 CPU cores, even though the processor utilization shows me 12 threads, all of them 100% as you can see. 67C, and like it's not even ramping up, like I can't really hear it. That's how good it is. Okay, we got the test done. 10,126. So always what I like to do is I like to check like my scores compared to like what's out there. Cinebench R23 scores. CPU Monkey is good for multi-core score. X. Okay, look at that. 11,2068, and we've got another like 1,000 points less. But I know why this is, because I'm actually doing lots of other things at the same time here. So I'm gonna decide next time. Is that armory grate over here? It's installing the components of the. Okay, this is gonna be done. When this is downloaded and installed, I'm gonna try to do the restart, but at the moment installing lots of different things. While we are here waiting for that one, another thing I like to do is GeForce Experience download. Let's download that as well. Downloading 100%. While we're here, okay, no, let's not do all of the things at the same time. I mean, the CPU looks like the CPU temps are very, very much in check. I mean, 67C in like full power for whatever 2 minutes. It's like easy over here. Too hot? Let's get this going as well. Accept. So what we want over here is, where is our no, not AutoSync. Nope. Tools. Yes, driver. There we go. Look at this. What we want. Yes, audio driver in the Intel Thunderbolt driver, LAN driver, AMD chipset driver. Download and install. Yes. access. Allow access. Okay, it's downloading that stuff. Are we here? GPU. Just idling along there. Like the PC feels like it's like not sweating. It's like it feels like it's sleeping. Okay, we're gonna do the restart in a moment. We'll have to wait over here. Okay, Yo-Yo Coco is saying how much did it cost, guys? If you want to know all the latest pricing for all the different parts that I'm using on this motherboard, check the description below. Now the most thing is that you need to know is that that graphics card I bought almost MSRP about 10 months ago in September. I bought this for £600, which was only £100 over MSRP, but the rest of the things are linked in the description below. Jason Williams is saying he's gonna watch it from the beginning. Watch it from NC. Whoa. Motherboard price is about $300. What's up, Daniel Mendes? Are you Shawn Mendes' brother? Would be cool if you were. Prices are getting better actually. Stay tuned. There's like a sale coming on from like on Monday. From Monday, so I'll most likely gonna be doing like another live stream about that. So that's that. Just from Portugal. No worries. Daniel Mendes is just from Portugal. Is it any good with Rate Prism cooler? Yeah, if you want to know which cooler he means this one over here. That is the Rate Prism cooler. That's what this cooler came with. But this is not a very good cooler because if you look at the heatsink, can you see the heatsink is like only like an inch thick over here, and it just really doesn't cool it down very well, depending on the case airflow as well. But if you haven't seen like how good this performed with the included fan or cooler, check out my pre-built PC like teardown where we got the CPU from. We wanted a graphics card, so we bought a pre-built PC, and that's where we got this cooler from. And then with that cooler, ooh, it was running like 95 plus degrees on some cases, so it was very, very, very hot. Do you think Cooler Master Hyper 410R enough for 5600X? Let me see, what's it called? Cooler, oh, pants, wrong. Cooler Master Hyper 4, what was it again now? 410R. Do you mean 411R? Because that's a little bit cheaper. Yeah. I think the Cooler Master 411R, but like this cooler, this quiet one is actually sometimes even cheaper, which is just awesome. But yes, do you think it will be enough for 5600X? Yes is the answer. Daniel Mendes is saying, I'm thinking of upgrading from 2600X to 5600X, and he doesn't know if he actually needs. Now, the question is, what are you doing? You're going to see a massive improvement, well, quite a big, massive, don't quote me that, well, you should see quite a big of an improvement in terms of rendering, the like snappiness of the PC, because the single core performance is just so much better. Like, let me have a look how much better it is. Just quick little check over here. we're gonna go, okay, let me show you over here so you can see that as well. Cinebench R20 multi-scores. So our multi-core score is 11,286. Let's put in 2600X. Okay, it's so further down that we look at that. It's about 25% multi-core improvement. Let's have a look at the single core performance. 5600X is 1575, and then let's see how much is 2600X. Whoa, it's so further down that we still have to look. Okay, ooh, and about 30% better in terms of single core performance. So you're gonna see quite a big jump actually. Like usually if you see up to 10% performance increase, maybe wait for the next generation. If you see 20 plus like percent performance increase, then you maybe want to think about it, because then you're actually going to start to see difference in quite a lot of the things. Leslie is saying, will there be an 11th gen Intel 10 core above? Yes. Intel will most likely be releasing, hopefully, 11th gen like X processors, like they usually did on 10. You know, like you have 10920X, 10940X, and 10900, all the way to 10980X, which is I think 18 core processor. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember now exactly. Let me see if I can find it here. 10980. 10980XE, yeah, 18 core processor over there. So there should be like an X variances of those processors coming, but they are not on the same platform as the 11th like gen, like lower. The X platform will be a bit different. You need different motherboards for that. You need so you can't go from like 11900K to 11980XE. This won't work. I'm rocking an i5 2400, thinking of going 5600X. Dude, you're gonna see like a rocket ship amount of improvement. Okay, let's have a look. This is done, that's done. Okay, let's do a restart now, and we're gonna start hitting delete. Hopefully we can get that going pretty soon. Daniel Mendes is saying, I got a B550M-3 and I don't know if it will handle it well. It should handle it like all right. There's nothing like that big of a difference in terms of that, you know, CPU. You don't need more power than your 2600. It might even need less power because the 2600 is like less power efficient, so it might draw more power. So I think it should be fine. I think maybe you might want to start thinking about it like, oh, maybe it draws too much power when it's like, I don't know, 5900X or 5950X, but so far I think it should be fine. Have a look. I'm sure there's some people like put like benchmarks online of this, so yeah. I'm using an i5 7500 and planning to upgrade to 5600X. I'm wondering how much of an upgrade it will be. Once we get back to our Windows and I can open the Chrome, I'm gonna start looking for you, like how much this would be. But I think you're gonna see quite a big improvement. So if we're gonna go well, I'm confused now which keyboard is which. Cinebench R23 scores. So what was it? i5 7500. 7500. Whoa. i5 7500, does that even exist? I think you're gonna have 75. Boom, boom, boom. Do you mean 7600? Not 7500. I can't find that CPU right now. i5 7500. Is that it? i5 7500. Ah, I think I was too late. Didn't get to the BIOS. No, i5 7500. Cine. Ah, wrong one. Cine bench scores. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's have a look. I can't believe that this i5 7500 has Intel HD graphics 630 that you mentioned over there. That is the same graphics that they had on the 10th gen as well. Like now on the 11th gen, they changed it to USD 750 or something like that. But I can't believe that, you know, 3-4 generations ago, it's still the same iGPU. So here's Arpan asking a question. Let me just restart it again so I can get into the BIOS. What GPU is the best to go with? i9 10900K, 3070 or 3080, looking for productivity and tasks. So basically, between the 3070 and 3080, productivity tasks like video editing and things like that, you're probably going to see about 10% increase. So if there's a massive price difference between those two cards, go with the 3070, especially if you don't do any like 8K editing or more than 6K editing. You don't need like 10 gigabytes of VRAM. If you can't use 10 gigabytes of VRAM, like don't go for the 3080 because it's so much more expensive. Yes, okay. So we are in BIOS now. Let's put a profile 1 on. So we have our RAM running now at 3600 megahertz. CPU fan. Let's have a look. Look, it really ramps in like from 70 degrees. So it's very good. Chassis fan 1, 2. Okay, I'm gonna leave that because that's pretty cool over there. So I think this will help us. We're gonna go save and exit here. Okay. Daniel Mendes is saying, should the RAM be more than 2400? Yes, exactly. That's what I did now. Applied the XMP and now it's 3600. How much will it cost me to buy a Wi-Fi Bluetooth enabled motherboard in Pakistan? It absolutely depends, like which motherboard you actually want and how, like what, is it Intel, is it AMD, what motherboard is it? So let's do a little bit of a test then here. Let's have it run. Quite a bit here and then start seeing how much we're actually gonna see over here. I'm gonna put this on literally advanced benchmarks, 10 minutes, multi-core start. Okay, so that's starting. As we can see, CPU utilization 100%. CPU temperatures 61, 62 degrees. Okay, let's do some other things. Let us download Firmac. Cavern Hansana 3900X plus B450. Any problems? No problems. If you don't want PCIe 4.0 speeds, it's completely fine because you can get it with that processor but not on that motherboard. Is there every CPU score on Cinebench? Near is asking. Almost everything you can find online. Depends, some of like R23 Cinebench cores you can't really find on Cinebench R23 because not everybody's using them, or the older processors aren't as popular, so people aren't like doing that, but that should be fine. I can't believe the CPU, like this PC is still like completely quiet. Like I can hear that the fans are working, but it's like no problem at all. Like it's absolutely crazy. Artgrid is looking for sub $50 studio headphones. I'm looking at Maona MH601. I think the Maona headphones are quite new, especially the MH601, and I think they're quite okay. But if you want like truly, really like nice studio headphones, like for a budget, which I personally think are the best bang for buck, have a look at some One Audio ones, because like this is what I'm using personally for this rig over here, for example. Like you can probably hear a little bit of feedback over here from these. Hello. Hello. Okay, so basically these headphones super comfortable on the ears, wired, especially if you like 6.3 millimeter jacks or 3.5 millimeter jacks. You have both, and this cable is like one and the other way, so you can flick it like both ways if you wanted to use this or that. And they are like dead cheap. They are like way below $50. So if you want something like pretty decent, check One Audio out, because they are truly nice. Like everything I've tried from One Audio has always like impressed me how good it is for the price that they are at. Daniel Mendes is saying, I usually turn off the background task on the settings. Does it do any difference? Yes, it does. It make a difference. But at this point, my point isn't to make a difference in terms of taking the background tasks off. What I want to do is just literally put a bit of stress on the CPU to see like how well does the thermal performance work and how good is our cooler. As you can see, if we would have gone with the AIO, it would have been an absolute overkill, because like it would have been, you know, way overkill. Let's start the GPU stress now as well. So that should start heating up the like case inside there. Look at that, peak 67 degrees. We're still at 64 degrees. Let's see how this goes when our GPU temperatures over here are getting a little bit higher. Let's see how good this is. Like our pre-built PC with 3070 and 5600X T, so basically the same configuration inside there with the stock cooler, was already running about 80 degrees or close to 90, if not like 95 degrees. So that's that. Which processor do I use? Have a look at the processor in the links below, but you can see it's Ryzen 5 5600X. Still 65 degrees. And how much is our GPU? GPU is 65 degrees, 66 degrees. Okay, I can feel warm air coming out from the back now. A little bit warmer than before. Before it was just like cold air. Now it's like warm air. It's just because the GPU, yeah, the GPU is hot. Like you can feel the GPU is hot when you touch like the port or the back of part of the GPU. But it's dead silent. It's super quiet. It truly is quiet. GPU 69, 67, 68. Okay, running around there. How's our CPU doing? Where is our CPU now? 68. Okay, we're still not at 70. That is very impressive. Because this isn't like a real world performance, what you would be doing, unless you're like mining, I don't know, you know, cryptocurrency. Your GPU won't be like that utilized or going that hot. Because as you can see, like our GPU is pulling a peak of 246 watts from the socket. Ooh. Which is interesting. Which is slightly above what our cables are rated. So I'm glad that this power supply keeps up with this. Because I think the PCIe cable is 150 watts, whereas the socket gives 75 watts. So that's that. Okay. Let's have a look. Our GPU is like 70 degrees now. Hotspot is about 80 degrees. Let's see if the CPU is any better. Look at this. CPU still like hovering around 70 degrees at 100 full belt like utilization. That is crazy. Okay, the clock speeds aren't that good here though. The clock speeds are 4.1 gigahertz, whereas I would have thought it would have been 4.4 before. Let me stop this. Let's see if that changes it. Okay, 4.1, 4.7 now. You'll see the GPU will cool down now. I heated the GPU up. It's like a warm brick inside there now. Not as cool inside there though. 51 degrees. Our CPU, 72 degrees, 71. Okay, that's interesting. Let's try another final thing before I'm gonna finish this live stream. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enable the PBO and let's see what we're gonna get. Sorry, one more time. Let's do Cinebench. Let me do one of those scores. Updates. Let's just check that everything is up to date. Yeah, I'm up to date. Let me close that. On pen. On pen. I'm gonna start one like multi-core test now. That should be close to 11,000 now. Let's see how well does it perform. Yo-Yo Coco is saying, I wonder if these softwares that push the temperatures high on rendering tester are harmful to the CPU by any means. No, not really. Absolutely not. Like, because the CPU is still like within the factory you know, utilization and everything, it just gives the CPU something to do. It's like basically saying, you know, for a guy saying, okay, just show me like how fast can you run. It's just testing the speed of the CPU. And there's the factories, when those CPUs come from the factory, there's so much like room. They're not like completely fine-tuned, a bit more lately than previously, but there's still like so much more power that you can put through the CPU, which we're going to try in a moment, see how much it's going to change our score. Okay, our score is going to be now, okay, 10,739. Okay, 10,739. Let's restart the system, and then that is going to be the final thing. We're going to put PBO on, and then let's see how much this is going to improve. And then that is the final. Then we're going to end this live stream. If anyone has any more questions, final questions, can come in now. And then that is it. Okay. Harpen is saying, how to get your mic from picking up background noise. My Moana ones pick up even breaths. What you want to do is turn down the gain of the microphone and turn up the volume of the microphone. That's going to help you. Come on. Are we going to BIOS or not? Hello. Did it froze? Yo-Yo Coco is saying, I think gaming on a creator PC is a piece of cake, right? Depends, not necessarily, because creator PCs usually want more CPU power, whereas gaming PCs want more of graphics power. Okay, I don't know what's happened here, so I'm gonna restart it. Boom. think it's F11, right? Okay, here we are in the BIOS. We're gonna go to advanced, and most likely we're gonna go to, I think it's here. There we go, precision boost overdrive. PBO Max Enhance precision boost overdrive. Enable. Max CPU boost clock. Enabled. If enabled, big frequencies of let's put everything on auto. Platform thermal throttle limit, let's put that to 92. Okay, we're gonna press, I think it's F10. Save and reset. Okay. Okay, last thing, let's see how this is gonna go now. Remember previously on a hardware monitor we were pulling about 78 or 70 something watts from the CPU. Let's see like how much wattage are we gonna push through the CPU now when our PBO is enabled. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's have a look at hardware monitor straight away. Oh, okay. It feels a little bit snappier. It does feel snappier. Snappy, snappy, snappy. Let's see what happens if we put the Cinebench on now. Okay, you ready guys? Let's start the tests. Let's see what happens. Whoa! Look at that. 108 watts pushed through now. That is quite a bit more. Our clock speeds are all at 4.6 gigahertz. Whoa! From 4.1, that is, ooh, we should see quite a big increase. And look at this, our temperatures are still 78%. I mean, degrees. Oh, we should see quite a big performance increase. 79, we're pushing through 105 watts. So now we're pushing through as much as like 5800X or 3900X or 5900X or Ryzen 7s and 9s because they have a bigger TDP. So 105, so quite a bit, like 30 watts more, which is like extra 50% more pushed through there. Look at our clock speeds. That's that. I said start thermal throttling when we're reaching to like 92 degrees, which is 3 degrees from the maximum temperature, operating temperature. So let's have a look. 79 degrees. Whoa, dudes, I am super impressed with this cooler. We only gained 200 points. And we put so much more power through. Let's try it one more time. See if it... Wait a second. I'll see if there's any background tasks that are going just in case. Okay. NVIDIA control panel. Yeah. Let me just see just in case. CPU utilization already that much? Service host, Windows update. Oh yeah, it's doing Windows updates there, isn't it? Okay, let's try it one more time. Let's clear the minimum and maximum, and let's start it. Like the PC is hardly making any noise. And look, it's pulling like extra 50% of power through the socket. No problem. So if anybody's wondering like if that cooler is fine for like 3900X or Ryzen 7s, Ryzen 9s, well, maybe not the 5950X or 3950X because they might draw a bit more. But look, there is a 108 watt it's being pulled, 105 watts constantly, which is like what they are rated Ryzen 9s and stuff, and it's completely fine. It's completely fine. That is absolutely insane. Too bad ASUS didn't brand the BIOS with a ProArt style. I know, I wish it was, because like, just do it with a ProArt style. It would have been so much nicer. Okay guys, the moment of truth now coming up. What is the score now? Okay, 1960. So we gained 200 points, which isn't much, but what we could do is see the actual performance like of this cooler, which is amazing. Near is saying, what is the cooler? Check out the links in the description below. It is the Pure Rock Slim 2 cooler, like very cheap cooler, like what, less than $40. And look how well it keeps up with this over here. Oh, as you can see, all the lights have died in the background. So my friends, it is time to end. Thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for watching this live stream. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the nice comments. I hope you enjoyed this build. Hopefully, if it's going to be, you know, awesome like experience for you, what we did over here. And then if you want to know the actual benchmarks of this PC and how well does it do in different applications compared to some other you know, PCs that I have built on this channel, then stay tuned, hit that subscribe button. It's coming out very soon. But if you like this video, hit that like button. It actually makes a difference. Subscribe if you haven't already. You know the drill. And I'm gonna leave you also with the last thing of our sponsor message is the Restream. Thank you very much, Restream, for sponsoring this live stream. And I'm actually using the Restream like features of the product just as we are doing the live stream as well. So I'm very happy with that. Sunny Hawk is saying the 3950X required water cooling. No, not really. I am actually using air cool on the 3950X, and I've used it on the 5950X as well, and it's completely fine. Okay, thank you very much everybody for tuning in, and last of all, I'm gonna leave you with this. See you soon.
Would you like to 3x your reach with your live streams while upping the production quality without spending a single dollar? Here's where Restream.io comes in. Restream is a powerful browser-based live stream tool that allows you to restream to multiple social media sites at the same time. But it also pulls all the chats from all the different sites and combines it into one chat, so it's easy for you to keep track of all the messages from different platforms. And not just that, it also offers a very simple to use Restream Studio that lets you design your live stream and customize it to your brand. Restream Studio makes it also very easy to invite in guests for your live stream, even if they're on the other side of the world. And there's much more. The best part of all that is that all that I've just mentioned comes with a free plan. If you're interested in more advanced features like streaming to Facebook pages, stream recordings online, stream pre-recorded videos, 6+ stream participants, full HD streaming, and more, then check out all the paid plans and choose which fits your budget. Check out Restream.io in the video description below.